Here are some tips and tricks for my new Blanket Stitch art and lettering brush. I'm going to show you how to use the brush with the font Arial Rounded. Go and create a new layer and then get the Blanket Stitch 1 brush. You're going to then pull it and hold it until it snaps. Now hit Edit Shape. See those little 2 dots? This is going to allow you to stretch it out, push it together, and take it from side to side until it gets to that straight line that you want. Once you have it set to where you want it, you can then just tap anywhere on the screen and it'll unselect that. You're going to then get your brush again, and you're going to open a new layer. This time you're going to curve it. You're going to do the same thing. You're going to hold it, snap it, press edit, and then those 3 little dots are going to let you adjust exactly where that curve is. Once you have it exactly the way you want it, you'll be able to tap anywhere on the screen and then move on to your next line. Create a straight line, hold it, wait till it snaps, and then those little 2 dots are going to let you adjust it to where you want it to be. Create a new layer again, go around the curve as best as you can, but if you can't get it perfect, that's okay, because you're going to do the line edit and you're going to use those 3 little dots to adjust exactly where you want your curve. You're going to do the same thing again. Tap on your screen until it deselects it. Create a new layer by pressing that plus sign, and then you're going to slowly follow the curve right until it ends the curve. You don't want to go all the way or it's going to create this really weird shape. So just follow the curve, and then you're going to, if it goes a little bit too high, you can erase just until it gets to the end of that curve, because then this next part in a new layer you can just pull a straight line that will help to connect it. And the reason I want to keep everything in separate layers is because then it'll make it so that if I need to erase something, I'm not having to really get finicky into where I can erase. So try to keep everything as separate as possible in the beginning, and then we'll combine it soon. So for this next step, make 1 more layer, follow the curve, hold it, wait till it snaps, hit the shape edit, and then connect it by moving those 3 dots around. Alright, so now we're going to move to the next part of the bee. We're going to move to the inside. But what you're going to find is if you go in the same direction, it's going to be the wrong way, because when you're sewing, that edge is going to be on the outside, and you don't want it to be flipped. So you're going to pull it now in a different direction. It might take a little bit for you to get familiar with the way each brush needs to be pulled so that you can get it in the right direction. I'm still going to be using the Blanket Stitch 1. So you'll do that same line like we did on the outside, and then you're going to go and create a new layer. Alright, and then you're just going to do what we were doing on the outside of the bee. You're going to just create some straight lines and the curves like we did on the outside. So now I'm just going to quickly do this. Okay, so now what you're going to do is you're going to erase the last part of this just so that the lines connect at that corner. We're going to make it look like when you were sewing, you went around the corner. So you can use the Blanket Stitch and just do a stamp, or you can grab the old thread brush. You're going to minimize the size of it to make sure that it matches up with the lines. Hold it until it snaps and then it'll match. Put a little dot at the end to kind of show a little hole going into the fabric. Create another line where you'd like it, and then you can line edit, move it around to where you want it to be, and then another little circle and hold it, and then it'll create that look like there's a hole created in the fabric. You're going to go around and do this to the other side as well. And then you can go and do this whole process again for the next one, but I'm going to swipe everything to the right, flatten it, duplicate it, and then what I'm going to do is move it down and just kind of stretch it out. This is just for me just to save a little bit of time. But like I said, you can go and do this part the same way that we did the top. Okay, so now that we have this created, we're going to swipe everything to the right, hit group, tap the little arrow, tap it and hit flatten. Now this is going to make it so that all those lines that we made are now merged into one. Create a layer below, pick a color that you like, and get the monoline brush or something that you like to color with. And then you're just going to go and fill in whatever you created. So I just did this bee just so you could see kind of what to do for straight lines, for curves, for edges. But whatever you chose to draw or create, you would just go then and fill that in with the colors that you want. You may have artwork that has different colors, and so this allows you to do different layers for those different colors to be able to fill in your new artwork. Once you have everything outlined, you can grab that circle and pull it down, and it will fill anything that is connected. If it fills the entire page, it means that one of your lines isn't connecting. So just go back and make sure that all the lines are connected, and you'll be able to fill. This back layer, I just filled an entire different layer below it. Make a layer above this, hit clipping mask. Get the little color picker, which is that square in between the two sliders, and pick up the color that you have for your art. Mine's purple for the bee. Hit the circle in the top right corner, and that's going to bring up the color wheel. You can then pick a darker color, go back to our blanket stitch brush pack and grab the flannel brush. Swipe it over top, and then if it doesn't look exactly how you want it, see that little highlighted magic wand that I keep pressing? We're going to choose the color adjust, and we can slide it around darker or lighter to get a really textured look. I'm going to then hit it again. Hue, saturation, brightness is what I'm clicking, and then you can play around with the colors. Create another layer. This time we're going to pick up the base color, hit clipping mask, get the flannel brush, and then just swipe that over the back. And again, you can hit that little magic wand, hit hue, saturation, and brightness, and you can toggle it around to get lighter, darker, change the color completely. You can do the same thing for the other layer just to really get it exactly how you want it to look. I'm then going to go into the thread layer, which is going to be our very, very top layer. And I'm going to hit the magic wand, hue, saturation, brightness, and I'm going to lighten up that thread so that it really stands out. Next, I'm going to go into the layers, and I'm going to swipe everything that has to do with the bee to the right. I'm going to group it, then I'm going to flatten it, and then I'm going to duplicate it, and I'm going to hit a black color, hit select, fill layer, and then I'm going to just kind of shift it over a little bit just so that it looks like a little bit of a shadow to make it look like it's another piece of fabric. Hit a Gaussian blur, which is the magic wand, and it's the second one down, Gaussian blur. You'll slide it over, and then you can also hit that layer and bring the opacity down just so that it's a slight shadow below. You can play around with which side you want it to be on, and that is how you use my new blanket stitch brush set.